Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this amazing Monday morning, brand new week. We're halfway through August. It's awesome. I cannot wait to share you this morning. This is the number 2 most common question I receive, both as a yoga teacher and as a life coach, is what is your morning routine? So what is number 1 is what is your practice like? So that's very, very similar because that's usually when my practice happens. But I wanted to share with you what I do to set up my day for success. And then I'm going to go through more detail throughout the week. And feel free to ask questions because then I can get your questions answered as the week goes on. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Erdman-Luntz. I'm a life coach and yoga educator. And I bring both together. I bring both together to inspire people to live their extraordinary life. That life that's deeply fulfilling, full of purpose, and vibrantly joyful for you. Now, for today's post, I specifically hashtagged Inspired Living Guru. That is not a name I gave myself. Someone tagged me that on Twitter about a year ago, and it cracked me up. But I started thinking about it, and I was like, all right, I think I can take that on. I think I can live up to that moniker. But one of the things I realized is that inspired living, y'all, extraordinary living, whatever it is you call it, it's not all about the big picture. That's half of it. That living up to what you're fully capable of, that huge thing, whatever it is. The other half is what we do day to day. In fact, what we do day to day is what leads to that big thing, whatever that big thing might be. So I like to think of the small acts that add up ultimately. Those small acts of things that you do on a regular basis that make you who you are and that take you where you want to be. Now, or keep you from going where you want to be. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk briefly or generally about my morning practice and what I do in the morning, because setting up your morning is really crucial. And then I'm going to share a little bit more detail as the week goes on. So this week we're going to focus on morning rituals. So I really do believe starting the morning in the right way, if you will, and I'll say right way. Not that there's a wrong way, but the right way is the best way to set your day up and to be intentional about it. And I'm going to share with you what I do. That doesn't mean it's what you should do, okay? You need to sit down and think about what would be most meaningful for you, what would help you get into the right space, okay? So what I do in the morning, I get up at 6. And sometimes I snooze. I will confess, my phone snoozes for 9 minutes. So sometimes I get a 9-minute snooze in, and then I get up at 6:09. But usually I get up at 6 because, quite frankly, my body wakes up at 5:57, and that's because I set that intention to wake up at 6. So I wake up at 5:57, and I crawl out of bed. And the very first thing I do is I brush my teeth and I do a tongue scraping. So if you've never heard of tongue scraping, it's an Ayurvedic technique. What happens during the night is the toxins your body can't get rid of move to your mouth, which is why your mouth is so grim in the morning. And if your digestion is really, really good, your mouth isn't grim in the morning. So if your mouth is grim in the morning, it's a sign that your digestion is slow. So I brush my teeth and I scrape my tongue. Tongue scrapers you can get on Amazon, super cheap. Really amazing way to clear your body. Then I drink a glass of water. Now I take a 10-ounce room temperature water. I add a Soleil, and I will talk about what a Soleil is tomorrow, Wednesday. But you can look it up. It's SOLE. It is a salt water mix. And salt water is great. It's great minerals in the body, but it also helps detox as well. So I take 10 ounces of water, I put 2 tablespoons of my Soleil in, and then I add a couple of drops of lemon essential oil. So lemon is a great way to detox the body. It's an Ayurvedic technique, but I will say that I squeezed lemons for years and years and years and years. Organic lemons, not only is it expensive, it's incredibly messy. And my teeth started to show it. After about a couple of years, my dentist said, "What are you doing? Your teeth don't look very good. Your gums don't look very good." And it took us a long time to realize it was that lemon juice every morning. And essential oils don't have that same acidity. Essential oil comes from the rind, not the juice. Awesome. And I only use Young Living. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the oils, they are not all the same quality. Please, please, please be very, very mindful if you're using essential oils, and I'd be happy to talk to you about Young Living and get you going so you can join my community around that. So I drink that, as I sit and I start with reading. So I'm always reading some sort of inspirational personal growth book. And sometimes it's business personal growth. And yes, all business growth is personal growth too. Sometimes it's more spiritual based, sometimes it's more yogic based, but I'm always reading a book and I just read a few pages out of it, okay? Like 5 or 10 minutes. And then I move into my own contemplation. I do have a mantra that I chant, which you can use yourself or just simply sit in meditation. I just like to be quiet for about 10 minutes. And after that, I journal. And I journal a couple of things. First, I journal personal stuff. And then I journal any thoughts I have around my business and things that I'm working on in my life and very, very specific action steps that I might like to take during the day or something that came up during my meditation. And frankly, sometimes I write those things down as I'm going in my meditation because I can't relax and let my mind relax in meditation if I'm thinking about something. So I'll write those things down. Then what I do is I apply essential oils and I stand tall. I do my stand tall practice, which we're going to do in September together, but I feel this power, this confidence, this courage, and I say my affirmations. And I will talk about affirmations. I think I'm going to do that Thursday. I'm keeping notes to make sure I teach you all the things I say I'm going to teach you as the week goes on. So I feel my feet, I stand really tall, and then I say my affirmations. Affirmations are incredibly powerful tools, y'all, but they have to be done right. And I'll teach you about that Thursday morning. So, oh, that's sweet. I love you too. So I will I will let you know about those on Thursday. So I say my affirmations in that really strong stance. Now, it's usually 7 o'clock at this point, and I then go work out. And my son and I either go to the gym or I go for what I call a walk run. It is an interval training. And what I do want to share this with you, is I found this on Dr. Mercola years and years ago. I think I started this 10 years ago. And then so what I do is, sorry, I got distracted. I've got some trolls coming out over here on Periscope. So what I do is I run as fast as I can for 30 seconds and I walk for 1.5 minutes, and I do that 8 times. It takes me 16 minutes to get through this amazing workout, but here's the reason I do it. When you do that kind of interval training, what they found on Dr. Mercola, and I don't remember the research behind it, frankly, I'm one of those people, if it works for me, I don't really care. I don't have to prove it. So, test it, whatever. But it increases the plasticity of your brain. Why is that important? Your plasticity of your brain is what helps you have new thoughts. Do you know how we get stuck in our way of thinking? Oh, come on, we all get stuck, right? It's harder to see for us, but it's really just easy to see in the other people. Oh, they're so stuck in their thinking, but we all get that way. And my job as a life coach is to inspire people to change those thoughts, to put on new beliefs, to just choose new pathways. And I do it for myself too. I never expect someone to do something that I haven't done myself. So I commit to this. And I do this walk run. Again, it's walking, but walking fast. The intention is when you run hard for 30 seconds and then you walk fast for 1.5 minutes, during that 1.5 minutes, it's just to go from really heavy breathing to not as heavy breathing. Like basically from not being able to talk to being able to talk, and then you do it again. So it's a pretty intense workout. It's not super easy. We're talking pretty intense. And then I do that, and when I do my walk run, I then come home and I do 45 minutes of yoga. So then I come home at 7:15, 7:16, and I do 45 minutes of yoga. If I've gone to the gym, we get back at 8. Now at the gym, I do 20 minutes of cardio, and I do 40 minutes of weightlifting. Okay, I'll do lower body one day and upper body another day. So I do get a good workout. People often ask me if I do stuff besides yoga. You bet I do. Do you have to? Depends on kind of yoga you do. It depends on so many things. I can't give you a very definitive answer, but just know that my body is meant to work out, and I feel so much better when I do, which is why I do work out. And then I get back, it's 8 o'clock, and from 8 to 9, that's when I shower, that's when I get ready for my day, that's when I take my supplements, which I'm going to do a separate Periscope separate video on the supplements that I take. I oil myself up. I'm going to do a separate one on the oils that I do, and I get the kids ready for school. everyone is gone by 9 a.m. and that's when I get my day started. And the first thing that I do is this. Now, sometimes I get interrupted like I did today. Now, one thing I want to say too, before I close, I wanted to keep these fairly short. One thing I want to say is I don't do this every single day. Okay, so I do it Monday through Saturday is my intention. Sunday is a very different day. I'm going to do a separate scope on what I do on Sundays, writing my notes down here. But realize that every day is not the same, right? And it's great to do it as much as you can. But my intention, whenever I say every day, is to do it 4 or 5 times a week. Like this morning, I'll be honest, I didn't do it. You know, my son and I decided that we needed sleep more. I actually hurt my back on Friday, so I'm still healing, so I didn't work out, and I just did a tiny bit of yoga because stretching it is a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. If you set yourself up and you say, I'm going to do it 7 days a week, and then when life happens and it doesn't feel right and you don't do it, you're just going to feel guilty, and it's going to make you feel bad. But if instead you say, my intention is every day, and I will do it 4 or 5 times a week, and assuming there's going to be a day or two when it doesn't feel right for whatever reason. So that gives you that permission to do something else that day. And today it happened to be sleep and an extra long meditation. All right, y'all. So join me tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the supplements and the Soleil that I drink and why I do all of that. So that will come on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I'll do oils. And somewhere along the way, I'm going to do affirmations and what I do at bedtime too. So be sure you're following me. So if you're on Periscope, swipe down or left, up and down, left and right, to follow me so you get notifications about my next one. And if you got any value out of this at all, please share with others. Let's pass on the goodness. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Have a great day. May you be inspired to live your extraordinary life.